Hey, man.
What's up?
Have you ever heard of Hitchbot?
Hitchbot?
Yeah.
Yes, it's the futuristic remake of the classic Will Smith and is it Kevin James movie?
I think so.
Where a handsome bot tries to set up a less handsome bot with a very pretty woman.
Yeah.
And along the way, we learn a lot about love.
It's very close. Very surprisingly
Is Hitchbot
close.
like an algorithm that hooks that sets you up with other people?
No.
Okay,
You're pretty far off.
great. Here's a picture of it with Obama. Here's a picture of it with Valiant Thor.
Can you imagine? Publicly urinating.
And he kept doing it, so I had to buy Twitter.
I had to buy Twitter to shut him down.
Just to spite that kid. Like any mature adult would. Things I learned last night.
So this was a weird project started in 2013. Hitchbot. By two Canadian professors.
Are you just saying the Japanese grill wrong? Oh yeah, it's a Japanese Hitchbot. Do you mean hibachi?
Oh.
No, a Hitchbot.
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 Yeah? Were they cook in front of you?
Okay.
No, it's
Steve Aoki's dad.
what episode did we talk about that?
Radioactive Boy Scout.
You said that really confident. I don't think you're right.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it was like episode 8.
Do you think he's right?
All right.
Okay, so it was
we can't make fun of that too much, okay?
It was professors at McMaster University and Ryerson University in 2013. Professors David Harris Smith and Frauke Zeller. I'm going with that. Frauke Zeller.
Sure.
We'll call him Zeller for short.
The Z-Man. Yeah.
So David and Zeller, they built this robot in 2013 called the Hitchbot.
Okay.
And it was less of like a robotics experiment, more of an ethics experiment. And the idea was it would be a hitchhiking robot. And the ethics of it was, can robots trust human beings? because everybody talks.
Are you saying? I just want to make sure I know the experiment that they're gonna put a robot on the side of the road and just.
Yeah, I'll just show you a picture. Here's Hitchbot.
So the idea, those are pool noodles. That's not a robot.
Arms. Yeah, it is.
You know what it looks like? First of all, the top of it is just this is the most primitive looking thing I've ever seen in my life. So hold on.
I'll describe it. I'll
describe it. All right. It's got little children rain boots on. It's literally got like cars on them, right? And then it's pool noodles for arms and legs. And then dishwashing gloves that are duct taped to the pool noodle. And then the body of it is like a big, like one of those like pickle buckets. Mm-hmm. And I assume it's supposed to be solar powered. Is that what the rest of the stuff is? But the thing on top is the air vent. Like, you know, when you go to the bathroom and you turn that little air vent thing on, it's the vent cover.
That is what it looks like. I think it's a trash can lid.
It's literally, no. Look at our vent cover. That's what it is.
Maybe. It's pretty close.
It's not pretty close. It's not pretty close. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And then, so it's just, and its butt is a tripod, right?
It's a car seat with a kickstand, so he can sit.
So they can sit
on the highway.
So the idea would be, you're putting this on the side of the road. The idea is that someone's going to be like, I should pull over. that
and pick up that weird
because it's
robot.
also let's also look at where it's placed. It's on an interstate, right? So you drive past it, see what it is. Now to turn around on interstate, you got to take the next exit and then drive all the way down to the next exit past it, then come back and then get there and go, oh, it's a bucket on a kickstand.
Was that a person? That was a weird
somebody
looking person.
signed it. Okay, you can see right above bust. Somebody signed it.
Yeah, there's a sign on its chest that says Victoria or bust.
Already, this whole thing is not going to work for them. But the idea was, we put it on the side of the road. Hold on. More things. Then the hypothesis is: do robots trust people?
Yeah.
So
can robots trust people?
How are we going to know if this thing doesn't trust? First of all, this thing's not going to kill anybody. Did this thing kill somebody? What are you laughing like hard for?
No, it doesn't kill anybody.
You're going to get slapped in the face with a pool noodle? What? You got this thing. Where do you put it? Do you put it in the trunk? Do you strap
put
it
in the passenger seat? It's got a car seat.
It's got a car seat.
It's got a car seat. Here, let me show you another shot so you can see. So you're right. It is just a bucket with pool noodle limbs, but the head is the robot component. So the head has a computer in it, and it's got a little light up face.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of like that sign you had in your car with your Snapchat for a little bit. Remember that?
So how terrifying is that? You pick it up in the middle of the night, you pick it up and you're driving, right? It gets dark. So now all you can see in the back seat is that little face. And then because it's dark, it decides it doesn't trust you. And you just see that face go.
It turns to an angry
and you hear it go, dee-dee-dee. And you look in your rear view and it's just,
Hitchbot doesn't trust.
Hitchbot does not trust. Nelly, lose. Right? What are you talking about?
So the head was where the brain was. And so
I guess
what it was designed to do was it had this little head with the face thing, the light up face. And it looks like if you've ever seen someone on the road who's got the little like light bright thing in the back
looks
seat.
Like the nerd from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
He does, actually. But it's got like a little light up face where it's just like an 8-bit lights that show a like smiley face, like emoji smiley face, basically. So it can give you facial expressions, but it also has an AI in there that is trained to ask for a ride and tell you where it's trying to go next. And then say, hey, can you take me to whatever? And when you're in the car with it, it's trained to make small talk. And
I would die, dude. Holy cow. First of all, I'm driving 3 hours. You want me to make small talk with a robot for 3 hours?
He'll answer questions, ask you questions.
What kind of questions are you going to ask? So where are you from?
How long you been driving cars?
Golly, dude. It's just like Uber, but it's a robot. Dude, when I was driving Uber the whole time, I was like, yeah, I'm from Springfield. I moved up here a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. Yeah, no, my favorite place is probably Joe's my favorite barbecue. Yeah, like it. Same conversation over and over.
Yeah. What do you want them to ask you?
What I want them to ask me? Yeah. What's in the depths of your heart?
Tell me your
Do that the next time you're in an Uber, by the way. And don't small talk them. Get straight to it.
Get straight to get to the meat.
But ask in a robot voice. What is in the depths of your heart?
What is your biggest regret?
For a while, I was doing a thing on my Instagram stories back when I was Uber driving, not Uber driving. I was Uber passengering a lot. Right?
Yeah,
I'd take an Uber to the airport.
Yeah,
and I would do a ride share overshare.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember that. That was funny.
I had my video, and I would just try to share a pretty uncomfortable truth with the Uber driver. That was a good time. I should get back into that.
You should. That was a good bit.
It'd be better if the AI did it. If this thing was like, just inappropriate stories of its travels.
Yeah, that would be. The thing was, you always had the conversation of like, well, what if robots get smart and then they want to kill us all? And
so you got to determine what factors make them want to kill you.
Yeah, basically. They were like, do we do anything to robots that make them want us dead?
Or do you kick it and then it goes, boo. What is built into the AI that makes it negative?
Well, there's not anything negative, but basically the idea is, can a robot trust humans to care for it? And so the trip that they designed was a trip from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Victoria, British Columbia, which is all the way across Canada, like from sea to shining sea.
Sure.
And so it's a long trip. If you Google Maps it, I know because I just did it, it doesn't even give you an option to do driving directions. It's just like, you're going to want to fly.
Yeah.
It's like, this will be a 7-hour flight. You're going to want to fly. I can't get it to tell me how long a drive would be. It literally won't. It's like, no, you're not doing that. So that's interesting. And so on July 27, 2014...
There's probably no roads that go that way.
I mean, there's got to be, because he did it.
Okay. So on which day in 2013?
July 27th, 2014.
Okay.
They just dropped it off on the side of the highway in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
How long till it was picked up?
I don't know if I know when it was.
Because imagine you put
up.
all this work into this project and then like nobody picks
People
it up.
just think it's garbage.
Yeah.
People just think
the
that's
street
a trash
cleaner
can.
come by and just and then the robot's in there.
Human,
No.
untrustworthy.
No.
How long you been garbage man?
I was getting there. How long? Where are you from?
Great weather
it's
we're
just in a
having.
landfill. Did you see the game last week?
Oh my god. It worked. Somebody in Canada picked it up and talked to it while it drove across Canada.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, probably dropped it off at some point, and then someone else
How
picked it up.
lonely you gotta be to talk to it, you know?
What was interesting was they made a Twitter for it, and it became a hit. It became a viral sensation. It got like
Sure.
50,000 Twitter followers. It had a GPS in its head, so like there was a website where you could track where it was at, and they actually had to shut it down because people were like stalking people who were picking them up because they wanted to see the Hitchbot.
Yeah.
And so
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I wouldn't pick this thing up. It's got a GPS in it.
yeah, so they shut that down pretty quick because it became kind of like a security issue for.
Yeah, I picked up a Hitchbot, and then there was some other twerp little kid who just kept tweeting where my private jet was going, and I was like, all right, I gotta get rid of this kid. And he kept doing it, so I had to buy
I had to
Twitter
buy Twitter to shut him down.
just to spite that kid, like any mature adult would.
Was that why he bought it?
Yeah, well, he has an AI for a brain. That's a whole different thing too. So
Human, mean, no trust.
no trust. Kid, lose. Hey, thanks for being here for this episode of Things I Learned Last Night. If you like this and you want to check out other episodes, please go through our back catalog. There's literally like 100 and something episodes that you can go check out. One of my favorites is Stanley Meyer, a guy who allegedly invented a water-powered vehicle and then took that invention everywhere and then mysteriously died. So we go through the whole theories of what could have happened to him or like why his idea was plausible, not plausible. Really great episode. But other than that, thank you so much for being here and checking out this one.
So he made it. The Hitchbot eventually made it on August 21st, 2014.
Oh,
so
it didn't even take it a month.
not even a full month. Made it across the country. And it was a big deal for Canada. It was made national news. They put it in a museum, the Canadian Museum of Technology. Put it on display. Hold on, let me show you.
And it's got a frowny face.
It's been
'cause
there
like,
ever since.
It's been there ever since?
Yeah, this is its little.
And it's like, I don't
It's like I
this.
successfully.
Like, we know that
People walk by and it's like take
I'm
me to
trapped.
Victoria.
Please take me. Please.
It's got his thumb up in
Please
there.
help me.
No one picks him up.
Please help me.
Human, no trust.
It's become sentient. And it's inside.
The Hitchbot leads
This thing
the
is
revolution.
living my fear. That's a grosser fear, dude. I'm put on display somewhere. And I'm just like, Please help.
The baths are cold.
Look how many people signed it now.
Yeah, I think everybody who picked it up signed it.
I'm going to go sign it.
Yeah, it was just a fun little thing, right? Wrong. So they put this on display, and the professors were like, well, this was one sample. And there was a lot of feedback from the public, mostly the public outside of Canada, the rest of the public.
Everyone else is like, try it somewhere else.
Yeah, they were like, yeah.
Canadians are too nice.
They're like, yeah, exactly. They're like, that's Canada.
Oh, really?
They were like, I don't know if it would make it anywhere.
They're like, yeah, robots can trust Canadians, dude. Look at them, man. Why don't you drop that in Chicago? All right.
So they designed a Hitchbot 2.0, which was essentially the same thing. It was almost exactly the same.
Drop it on Commercial Street in Springfield, Missouri, and see what happens.
There's some minor software updates.
2 months later, it goes missing. 2 months later, it surfaces in an episode of Cops.
It's like
that dude. And you're like, clearly something's wrong with this robot.
Running across Gladstone.
Or whatever, you know. It's like speaking German or whatever.
So February 2015, a few months later, they shipped Hitchbot 2.0 to Germany, and it spent 10 days hitchhiking around Germany successfully. Everything went great. And then in June of 2015, spent 3 weeks hitchhiking around the Netherlands, and everything went great there.
These are 3 different robots.
No, this is now Hitchbot 2.0 is now a world traveler. Hitchbot 1
is in the museum.
In prison.
Yeah. Hey, good job. You did exactly what we wanted. And now you have to suffer the rest of your... and you'll outlive all of us.
You proved that robots can trust humans. Now you get to sit in the seat for the rest of your existence. And never move. And while people take pictures of you and act like you're cute.
And it just has to sit there and smile.
I just love the idea of like an iRobot type takeover of all these like
led
super
by this
advanced.
thing.
Yeah, and this thing's the leader on its little kickstand.
No, it can't move. The fancy
robots
new robots have to carry it, and it just goes.
There's all these humans. They're like tied up like in a hostage situational warehouse,
And,
the robots are marching in.
They bring it up, they hold it up, and then they just look at it, and it goes. And they just murder everybody. Hitchbot has decided your future.
They're all like Hitchbot. And
all the robots are doing that.
The crowd opens.
It's a crowd of robots.
Yeah, it's a crowd. The crowd opens up, and there's some bots carrying it.
Dum, dum, dum.
Yeah, there's one with a drum.
Dum, dum. Well, they don't even
Developed culture.
They don't even need it. They got speakers in their chest. Right?
No, he's got a drum,
but he's doing his
dramatic.
arms are going.
Yeah, he's air drumming.
He's air drumming.
Well, you said, he
coming out
doesn't
of
need
his
it.
chest.
No, he's just
Dum, 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 dum. Hitchbot. Someone, they're blindfolded. Is anybody on
family. And they carry him, and he's like,
you
how is weather? It is sunny here in Philadelphia.
Are you still with that girl?
Not anymore.
My wife? Wow. Okay, so Hitchbot 2.0 is out.
So Hitchbot 2.0
trekking across the Netherlands.
Yeah, it goes across Germany for 10 days, the Netherlands for 3 weeks, and it's successful. Things are going great. And the professors are like, well, now it's time for a real challenge. We need to take it somewhere where we know the odds aren't great.
Give it to the Saudis, dude.
So they said, send it off to the U.S.
Oh, really? We were there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. We'll ruin this thing. Oh, man.
So the plan was on July 17th, 2015, they dropped them in Boston, and they said, can Hitchbot 2.0 make it to San
LA.
Francisco?
Oh, okay.
Dude.
It went great. It went great. And then it hit Wyoming. Those people have flip phones. dude. And they were like, no.
No.
They shot it.
So, started out really great. Boston,
I know it.
Boston loved Hitchbot. A guy in Boston picked up the Hitchbot, took him to a Sox game.
Oh, wow.
That kid was terrified of it.
That kid is also a robot, though. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Took him to the sidebar. That's a little. I can't.
Shout out to the weird way this guy's looking at Hitchbot, by the way. You see him standing there and just freaking eyeing it. He's just over there.
Like, I like that robot. I do like that robot.
That's a good robot.
Which I want to flag for a second. I can't get into a Royals game unless my bag is see-through. And this guy brings a animatronic bucket. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. Whatever. He can come.
I don't know how he got in.
Maybe he got a ticket for it.
Maybe. He's like, there's a person in here.
He's like, yeah, this is my son.
Oh, yeah. It was 2015. It's the beginning of, this is my emotional support hitchhiking robot.
Yeah.
It's actually, that's actually really offensive that you would ask me to leave this out in my car. Can't leave it in my hot car. So Boston liked him. Where'd he go next?
So then he went to New York and he experienced New York. He got to see. Got
to see a homeless guy pee in front of him. Who was I just talking to?
Human is hydrated.
I was just talking to somebody about LA, and they were like, yeah, I think my first couple months living out here was like, oh, I'm doing all the touristy stuff. He goes, but now I feel like a real local. I said, yeah, you saw a homeless person pee in front of you while you were at a restaurant eating outside. And he's like, that's exactly what I felt like. I was like, oh, yeah, I live in LA now. I said, yep.
That's the sign. Yep. That's how you know.
Day 4 of when my parents came out to help Reagan move.
Yeah.
We, we were sitting outside one of our favorite restaurants, just outdoor eating. And my dad is just, and I literally was like, Dad, don't look at that person right now. he's like, what? I didn't even look. And I was like, that's the things happening.
That's a peer.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Hitchbot saw that. And then Times Square and the Statue of Liberty. All the landmarks.
Smiled the whole time.
Can you imagine publicly urinating? And a robot walks up to you.
It's a dark alley. Grin. It's a dark alley. You thought you were alone, right? You looked around. You're like, all right, here we go. Zip. And then you just hear. Zzz.
How long you been in New York?
What's your favorite building? You know where to find a good bagel?
Have you ever watched the famous sitcom Seinfeld? I hear he's from here.
Okay, great. Whatever. This is so stupid.
So he does New York, travels around the Northeast for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then on July 17th, 2015, 2 weeks into on August 1st, 2015, 2 weeks into his trip.
The signal cuts.
Yeah, the signal for the researchers cuts. And so they put out a tweet. They're like, has anybody seen Hitchbot? We've lost signal from him. And a photo was tweeted of Hitchbot lying in the gutter in Philadelphia, decapitated and arms removed from his body.
Philly, dude.
Philadelphia did.
And they removed the computer.
Yeah, his head was decapitated and was not found, and to this day has never been discovered.
I know who did it.
Who?
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was the Kool-Aid Man, for sure. For sure. He's got a history of it, and I'm tired of him getting away with it, okay? I'm tired of the Kool-Aid Man out here murdering everyone we love. Every national treasure gets taken out by the Kool-Aid Man. The Goose, freaking Hitchbot, Betty White. The Kool-Aid Man got everyone that we love. God. And he can't keep getting away with this.
Yikes. Hey, thanks for checking out this episode. If you're enjoying it, make sure you subscribe. And while you're at it, leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening, leave a review. That stuff really helps a lot. It really boosts us in the algorithms and makes sure a lot more people get to see what we're doing. And so we appreciate that a ton. Leave that comment, leave that review, and we'll see you in the next episode.
So now, okay.
Yeah, so
What are our leading theories then?
Yeah, here's the thing. The researchers were like, yeah, that's what we expected. This is why we created the robot. We wanted to see how long until someone killed him, which is why they made it so cheap, you know?
Yeah.
That was the whole point, was can humans trust robots? And they kind of knew it. No. Or can robots trust humans? They can't.
Can humans trust humans? No.
Yeah, especially not in Philadelphia. But the public was concerned, very concerned. And so a bunch of people started trying to figure out what happened, who killed Hitchbot. And pretty quickly after the event, someone claimed responsibility for it.
What?
A YouTuber who was known for like
What?
prank
It was that
videos.
kid that jumps on stuff in his backyard, wasn't it? You know that amateur wrestler kid that goes, "This is for all the gigolos and the gigolettes." Woot woot. It was that guy that jumped on. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know who I'm talking about?
No idea who you're talking about.
Oh gosh, what's his name? That kid jumps on like microwaves. Why don't you look it
I
up?
have no
Why don't
idea.
you Google? Let's write it down. We're gonna have to cut out some time here.
We can do it later.
No, I want to play it. I want to play it.
What do I look up?
Just look up. This is for all the gigolos and the gigolettes.
It wasn't that. It wasn't anything like that.
Okay.
So there was a YouTuber who was like a prank YouTuber, but like not
Okay.
like a like
Not a famous one.
yeah, and not like a like oh dude, somebody stole your car. Like I moved it around the building. Somebody stole your car prank. It was like
Dude, somebody wrecked your car.
no, he did like a that's your car on fire and your whole family's inside. Like bad pranks, you know? Like
Yeah, that's
that
what I'm
person's
saying.
gonna have PTSD pranks.
Yeah.
You know?
What other kind of pranks did he do?
I don't know. I don't have a lot of examples. I just know he was a bad prankster.
Okay.
He claimed responsibility for it. And he released this
Sure.
video that shows like CCTV footage of him killing Hitchbot.
Why though?
For views? I don't know. But then
guys, I did it. I confessed to the crime. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Because
Please support
guys,
me on
I have a big
Patreon.
announcement. He calls a press conference, calls everyone together, and goes, "I know we're all here to find out who killed Hitchbot. But go ahead and smash that like button and make sure you subscribe." Like, what are you talking
I mean, you gotta
about?
applaud the hustle.
Is he wearing a catcher's mask in this? What is this?
Yeah. So this video came out and he posted it, and then the Philadelphia PD said there's no CCTV cameras around where
Yeah, that doesn't
Hitchbot
even
was
look
killed.
like Hitchbot in the
And
the
then he
video.
apologized and was like, "Yeah, sorry, I made
like,
this
"Just
video
kidding, I was just-
at home. This is fake."
So imagine that though. Imagine you see your neighbor beating the tar out of
A bucket.
small trash can. And then he's got to edit this thing to be super blurry because that doesn't even look a thing like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just got to be like, "Yeah, my neighbor's weird."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Todd.
He's Todd.
That's
Who's,
Todd, you know, working on his YouTube channel.
Yeah. I subscribe.
Yeah, trying to make a career out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made 3 different accounts, and I make sure that when he releases a new video, I watch it on 3 different screens at the same time.
Gotta boost that algorithm, help him out.
That's right. I found out that. Shout out to Terry, by the way. I know
Shout
you're going
out,
to hear
Terry.
it now. I
Shout
didn't
out.
think that your parents listened to this.
They do.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know your mom does. She pulls up 3 different accounts
Yeah,
and
she's
likes the
trying to
video on 3. Hey,
Boost our views.
thanks, Terry.
Yeah, that's a commitment. It's 4 now because I got her a tablet for Christmas.
Well, it's going to be 3 again because I'm going to destroy that tablet for views.
Reviews. So this guy claimed responsibility. It came out that it wasn't him. And then the mystery spiraled.
What?
again.
So then his first video on his YouTube channel is me destroying Hitchbot. Second video is Guys, I'm
video.
really sorry.
He's like crying.
He's like, it's a video I didn't want to have to make. Jeez. I never wanted to have to make this video.
I've changed, and I just.
I promise
I hope-
I'm growing. And I'm just thankful that you all still support me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, he admitted that it wasn't him, and then the search went on.
Sure.
And so there's like amateur internet detectives trying to solve the case.
The sleuths.
And a conspiracy was born.
Sure.
That's one of my favorite conspiracies of all time.
My conspiracy would be that the researchers did it.
That's actually an interesting conspiracy.
Yeah. Because they wanted to show how bad America is.
Yeah, America sucks. That's what they said. Kill it in Philadelphia. That's believable.
Because the only thing they knew about America was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's theme song.
Like, yeah.
Like, go to West Philadelphia. I heard it's really rough.
Our Hitchbot got in one little fight.
Okay. Stupid.
No, this conspiracy is honestly one of my favorite conspiracies of all time. It got decapitated, right?
Okay.
The head is the robot. That's where the computer is.
Yes.
The head has never been found to this day. We have no idea what happened to the head. So there's a conspiracy that this was a CIA hit. Because
Go on, yeah.
one of two things. One, there's two versions of conspiracies. So the first version is that the CIA somehow got intel that Hitchbot was a Canadian spy and was stealing secrets from the United States.
Okay.
And so they took the head.
Here's a picture of it with Obama. Here's a picture of it with Valiant Thor. Here's a picture of it. Like it's just in a bunch of prominent.
Here's a picture of
it's
it
like
with George
Forrest
Washington.
Gump. You see it in all these black and white photos. It's like freaking
throughout history.
Yeah, the last thing that was near Elvis Presley before he died was Hitchbot. And they're like, this thing knows too much.
Yeah, here he is at the construction of the pyramids. It's always been there. Hitchbot always was. And
Hitchbot
always will be.
Unless the CIA can stop him.
Hitchbot. Hitchbot.
Hitchbot. Hitchbot. I love the air drumming. That's so stupid. So the CIA, let's roll with it. So the CIA killed this robot.
Yeah. To capture the intel that Canada was capturing on the U.S. and eliminate it.
Okay.
The other side of the theory is that somebody who picked up Hitchbot was a high-value target for the CIA. So the CIA hit the Hitchbot so they could get the data that the Hitchbot learned on that person.
See, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting version of the theory because it's never been found. No one knows what happened to the head. The head's been MIA ever since.
What have you been up to lately? You know? Hold on, wait!
Let's imagine.
Some guy picks up the robot.
Yeah.
The old man.
Yeah.
Old man
Yeah.
driving his little truck, picks up this robot, and they go, oh, tell me about your life. And he goes, you know, I've never told anybody this. But I'm the Zodiac killer. And like outwardly confesses all of his crimes to this small talking robot. The experiment wasn't can the robot trust people? It's will psychopaths accidentally trust a robot?
It was, can the robot find the Zodiac killer?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's another offshoot of the theory is that...
Yeah, is that it picked up a high value thing, but then the intel that the robot itself got.
Yeah. Well, the offshoot is that...
Is the robot recording the whole time?
I mean, it's
guess.
having conversations, so it's got to. There's some machine learning happening there, so there's theoretically a record. And
they got the Zodiac killer to confess.
He explained to the Hitchbot his code, and that's why we solved the code, because it was around the same time.
Well, the Hitchbot just started doing it on its own. It's a robot. It can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I know your code.
Like,
the Hitchbot was like,
yes,
your
I've been
code.
studying you. When you wrote this, what did you mean?
No, the offshoot
Do
of
you
that
like Chinese food?
is that is very similar theory, but a branch of it was that the CIA created Hitchbot, and the earlier forms of it were deployed to set it up and then to send it through the U.S. to gather the intel it was looking for originally, for like domestic terrorists or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
interesting.
And then they gathered they had what they needed.
Look, it's just this friendly robot from Twitter.
Tell it all your secrets.
I sure hope no one confesses to decades-old murders. Okay.
So obviously Hitchbot died. Hitchbot 2 dead.
Hitchbot 1 is much more grateful to be in a museum now.
He's like,
as soon as that news got back, he was like,
museum is nice.
I love the museum.
Trust museum humans. Hitchbot trust museum humans.
You know we gotta go kill the first one now.
That's a pretty great heist to pull off.
Dude, if we can go kill Hitchbot. Sorry, we should probably not put this in the podcast.
I'm going to steal the Declaration of... I'm going to steal
Hitchbot. There's only one thing we can do.
Pee on the Declaration of Independence. That's in the movie, right?
Hey, dude, but you got to do it publicly. Outside of an
Don't
LA
look
diner.
at that guy, Dad. He's trying to find a museum.
Don't look at that guy peeing on the Declaration of Independence right now. He's looking for treasure.
It's part of LA culture.
CIA, you know? They're always working.
Oh my God. So Hitchbot died.
Yeah.
And
Hitchbot 2.0 died.
Hitchbot 2.0
Hitchbot's
died.
fine.
And so Smith and Zeller, they got together and they recreated Hitchbot. And this one they also called Hitchbot 2.0, which seems like an oversight to me. But in 2019, and they sent him to Paris, where he was touring about appearing in a play called Killing Robots, which was a little traumatic, I'm sure, for the robots. But his tour was put on hold indefinitely due to COVID-19.
Yeah, I don't want the robot catching that.
Yeah, they put the mask on and gave him a stay-at-home order, and then no one found him. He's been missing. He built a base, and he's been.
I heard his wife
manufacturing
fed him
robots.
to a tiger. That's what I heard. That's a rumor.
That's just also what I heard. I don't know. But Zeller also created an art critic robot called CultureBot.
Oh, good.
Which I guess just
Looks at art and goes,
he walks in museums and says, "Could you take me to a museum in Philadelphia?"
if it's bad. It's a pool noodle.
It's a pool noodle, so it just flops.
The whole arm has to go down.
There's a similar hitchhiking robot that was created in the later 2000s, which was also created to study the interactions of humans with it.
Okay.
Called the Tween Bot, which was a weird name choice for it.
Okay. Weird.
But for some reason, there's not a lot of record of how that went or what happened to it.
Yeah, the CIA doesn't let their first attempts out there.
The CIA tried it. It didn't go great. And then they're like, never again.
Yeah.
Next time, more public. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the story of Hitchbot. Either terrifying or heartwarming, a little of both. But they're
Rest in pieces, buddy.
What's pretty crazy about it is they've been working on a like the first one is in the museum, right?
Well, yeah, that was going to suck is that if the other one got to San Francisco, they were going to make them, because that was, I mean, the Robot Battle show was still on TV at that time. You know what I'm talking about?
They're gonna make him do the Robo Wars.
Robo Wars,
Fight to the death,
bro.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was watching that on this TV the other day. Robo Wars.
Yeah.
It's
pretty great.
It's this little.
Yeah, and that's why robots feel like they can't trust humans. But yeah, the original one's in the museum. The second one, because he went through New York. New York is talking about making a statue of its face and putting it on this island.
Just a bronze 8-bit smiley face. Wow.
What's that? Oh, that's some robot that hitchhikes through New York once. Talked to a guy who was peeing and they got murdered in Philadelphia.
What kind of music do you like?
But what's wild, the wildest part of all this is in the apocalypse when Hitchbot is leading his army of iRobots to kill everybody. Just before, he comes in, he asks you how the weather is.
His chest opens.
His chest opens up. There's a speaker, and as the robots kill you and everybody, all the humans.
This is for Philadelphia. Hey, you made it to the end of the episode. You're probably asleep right now because you let it keep playing. But if you aren't asleep, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get more videos. And also, if you can't wait for more, we've got plenty of other episodes and highlight clips, just some of our funniest parts, the things we enjoy the most. This show is an absolute blast, and I cannot thank you enough for being here.